Time is the one resource we don't get more of. So when it's gone, it's gone. That's why it's imperative as a business owner to smartly maximize your workday. In today's episode of the Online Business Clinic podcast, I'll be sharing with you 7 helpful techniques designed to make your daily routine more productive. So hang tight. Hey there, thanks for joining me. It's online marketing expert and business growth strategist Molly Ann Luna, and you're listening to episode 27 of the Online Business Clinic podcast, the place to be to build a profitable and portable business. So let's dive right in today. Today we're talking about those 7 ways to get more done in your business. And number 1, right off the top, is to prioritize. Now, I'm sure this feels like a no-brainer, but if you are a recovering achievement junkie, much like myself, then you know that while it might be fun to actually list out pen to paper all of the things that you need to get accomplished and then move down the task and crossing them off the list one by one, this method isn't necessarily the best use of your time, energy, or brain power. So instead, I want to encourage you to start your day by completing the most challenging task first. Now, I get it. The most challenging task isn't necessarily the most fun. But if you tackle it head on at the very top of your day, it won't have the chance to subconsciously be zapping your energy by bouncing around in that pretty little noggin of yours like a ping pong ball begging for your attention. So rather than listing out all of your to-dos all willy-nilly and just scratching them off as you go, I want you to put the most pressing one at the very top of your list, and then choose to knock it out post-caffeine buzz while your brain is still hot and ready to work. You'll feel accomplished, and trust me, the rest of your to-dos and that endless amount of tasks will just seem to zip by. Number 2, expect greatness. I want you to expect greatness from both yourself and from your team. So instead of putting a ton of time and energy into revising other people's work and especially revising your own work, do your due diligence to properly train your team up front. I also want to add here is that even though you're going to be expecting greatness, you're not striving for perfection. So this is one I've had to take note of for myself. As much as I want to deliver a really crisp and polished podcast, for example, I have to expect greatness from myself and just trust that as we move through this together, it'll come out just as it needs to. So just do your best to set high standards for yourself and for your team to produce quality work from the very beginning. And then just trust yourself and or your team that you can and will deliver upon that. Now, if for some reason you find yourself needing to devote extraneous amounts of time making corrections, again, either for yourself, going back and trying to perfect and to perfectly polish everything you create, or for your team, then it might be time to consider other alternatives. Maybe take a different approach to how you're delivering your content or how your content is being created. Okay, number 3, batch it. Now, I get it. Multitasking kind of feels like it's a superpower. Like if I was a superhero, I would be like multitasking mama. But the truth is that when we do decide to split ourselves from working as an entrepreneur and also like navigating the household as busy parents, like feeding the kids and folding the laundry and trying to fire off that email and following up with that client all at once, what it does is it actually stifles our productivity. Now I get it, okay? I am so guilty of nursing my son while cooking eggs and having like a micro dance party in the kitchen with my daughter and having an in-depth conversation about princesses. And I feel like, wow, like look at me multitasking, being so productive. But really when it comes down to it, my eggs don't ever really turn out that good and my breakfast suffers. So something always suffers, I guess is what I want to share. So let's just take a breath and face the fact that we are human. And as much as we want to be able to multitask, it's really not in our business's best interest. It's not really in our family's best interest either, right? Because someone is going to have to make a sacrifice. So let go of the idea of getting a million things done at once and instead batch it. Try grouping together similar tasks and then checking off those to-do lists accordingly. So batching your work time, giving yourself 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours where you're just completely lasered focused on building your business. And then subsequently giving your family that same amount of time. It doesn't have to be the same amount of time, but batching, your family time or batching your household chores or batching your errands. Don't try to do things one right after another, but try to stay focused on completing one whole task or a group of similar tasks within that same time period. Number 4, set the clock. Make a game of your workload by timing yourself on completing a task or a group of tasks. Then do your very best next time to try and beat it. Set yourself up for success by powering down all other distractions, silencing your phone, locking yourself in the bathroom if you need to, and set a timer. Stay focused on completing that one thing. Now, I get it. It is hard sometimes, especially if you're like me and you've got little kids in the house, to really just knock out one task. I get it. So choose to try your very best during this. So even if you've set your timer, you're like, okay, great. I'm going to give myself 30 minutes to complete this next blog article, whatever it is. Do your very best to stay focused, to not get frustrated, and to just get the task done. Number 5, take a break. When you're short on time, stepping away from your work area for a minute or two might sound like it's completely cutting into your daily productivity, when in fact, the opposite is actually true. The truth is that when you sit and focus on one thing for too long, you can really start to feel your motivation wane. So instead, I want you to take some time to head outside, get some fresh air, take a walk, soak up some vitamin D from the sun, if you will, and just clear your mind. Or go lay down in your bed, close your eyes, and just take a few deep breaths and give yourself some actual breathing room to take a break. By giving yourself permission to take a break, you will actually reignite your focus and you will power up your productivity. Number 6, plan for tomorrow. Now, before you power down the day, I want you to take a few minutes to prep for tomorrow, okay? So quickly write down your top 3 things that you'd like to get accomplished for the next day, and making sure that the toughest one you list at the very top, so that when you do come with your cup of coffee to your workstation, wherever that happens to be for the day, and you're ready to sit down and to do your work, you know exactly where to pick up and have another productive work day. And finally, number 7, celebrate to elevate. Now, what do I mean by this? Okay, I want you to give yourself permission to actually give yourself a pat on the back for a job well done, even if you secretly feel like all of the tasks that you accomplished were very menial. It's important to take the time to actually celebrate those micro wins. And what this will do was it'll get you excited to get back into work the next day, which will propel your productivity forward. Now, too much focus on the big picture, I get it. I've been there. It becomes very overwhelming. If you're anything like me, you're a big picture person, you've got lots of creative ideas, and when you get an idea for your business, you want it to be happening now. You want to be seeing results now. But staying too focused on the big picture will leave you feeling drained. So it's important that you segment out your daily accomplishments and give yourself kudos where they're due. I just did this. In fact, I sat down and I said, good job, Molly Ann, for not falling victim, loosely using that, to Netflix and binge watching 3 episodes of Good Girls again, and instead sitting down and writing 3 more podcast episodes. Good job, Molly Ann. It sounds so silly, but it got me super fired up today to just get in the sound booth now and to get to recording. So do that for yourself as well. Find little ways that you can celebrate those micro wins. Because when it comes to building a thriving health and wellness business, not every task is going to be monumental. But more often than not, those micro tasks will be that one thing that just help to push the needle forward. So just keep taking those baby steps. Now, in order to get more done, you've got to be sure to stay on top of your productivity by incorporating these simple suggestions into your daily routine. Okay, so just to recap here, from batching similar tasks to planning ahead for tomorrow's workday, these small and simple steps can help to minimize your business building stress and to maximize your productivity. So that's it. That's all I've got for you today. I want to wish you happy business building, and I want to hear from you, actually. So come over into the Online Business Clinic community, say hello. Let me know which of these 7 ways you will start incorporating to make your own health and wellness business that much more productive. Okay, and then I will plan on seeing you right back here, same time, same place next week. Bye for now. Are you ready to build true wealth for both yourself and your future generations to come? If so, I'd like to invite you to become a legacy leader by joining us on Facebook inside of the Legacy Leaders community. This is the place to connect with heart-centered self-starters like yourself who are striving to master their minds and build a legacy. It's a place to let go of generational and cultural beliefs that have been holding you back. It's a place to reclaim your creative power, become your own boss, and build that profitable and portable business you've always dreamed of. Come create lifestyle and financial freedom with us inside of the Legacy Leaders community so that you too can live and leave your legacy.